kind of issues did you see down there, Bob? From either from a transportation standpoint, or what were some of the things that evolved as we got into Epcot and other projects there?
Well, the immensity of the property was, it was staggering then. To me, it's still staggering now, even when I go down there and visit it, and it's filled out quite a bit. But getting the Magic Kingdom open was the very first thing, because, we'd already done the Disneyland, and the Magic Kingdom was very similar to that. That gave us time to think about what are we going to do for Epcot. And some of you who know some of the little details of history, we had many different designs of different sizes for Epcot. We kind of stirred in a little project called World Showcase, which was by itself at one time, over by the ticket center. Some of you probably know the picture I'm talking about. There's only one painting that was ever printed in print. Interesting piece of history. But then that got schmoozed into a very large Epcot. Then the designs as they evolved, Epcot and World Showcase grew together around the lagoon, and which showed you that we didn't have a single idea that we actually fleshed out. All these ideas kept mashing around all the time and getting more and more practical. So by the time Epcot really came on stream, we had learned a lot of do's and don'ts. We were really seeing what the guests like to do and not do in Florida. Of course, by that time, we were very used to high humidity everywhere. And what that affects is all of the electrical equipment, particularly electrical boxes that are out in the fields. We find that if you don't protect something, you come back in a week and the electrical circuits are not working and they're all covered in green algae, and you find little lizards climbing up and eating insulation and all these kinds of issues. So it took a long time to try to find out what a jungle is actually going to do to your city of tomorrow.
Thank you. Did we find out?
I think we're still learning a little bit, but I would have to say right now, anything new that we build down there or rehab and change a little bit, there really isn't a lot of surprises left. It just took a long time to learn about the use of materials and how people behave there in the extremely hot climates. I do remember one thing that struck me first is when you live in Florida, and as a Westerner, because we're used to as much, as Clyde, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the big thing you hear is, we all want to stand in front of the fans. The only way to cool off. And then the other big saying was, at 3:30, when we get out of here, the first place we're going to ABC Liquor and get the beer. And if you stayed down there long enough as a Californian, you came back here to Wood Enterprises, and you had this strange accent which took another month to get rid of.
Orlando, did you put together a PICO organization for Epcot too?
Oh yeah, well, it was existing. We had one in place down there at Walt Disney World, so that was a lot easier. It was a lot easier to accomplish. So it was, and again, we utilized the people from the operational side to come in and help us out. In fact, we took some of the operators from, again, Dick sent over some of his young supervisors, and they came back to California here and worked with us through the design development and the fabrication of all the shows and the rides. And then they went back to assist in the installation of it. And they all ended up, again, like I said, they were managers of those lands in Epcot Center. And it worked out extremely well. In fact, a couple of them ended up getting vice presidents down there at Walt Disney World. That was a quality of people that I was fortunate to have given to me to be able to help them get the job. It worked out extremely well.
So we only have a few more minutes, and I'd like to take a few questions from the audience if we could. Can we have the lights up and take a few questions? Anybody out there? Here we go. And I think there's a microphone, right? Yeah, mic over here. Okay. Anybody have a question you'd like to ask? step up to the microphone and ask any of us.
I'd like to know what was the project, the biggest project you worked on that we never got to see in Eden Park?
The biggest project we worked on that we never got to see. There's so many of them. Remember the show that Tony Baxter put together? It was in the old gallery here over in New Orleans. It was called the Disneyland That Never Was. Well, there were so many. And, you know, maybe somebody else has an idea, but it's one of those things that you do in this business. You're always coming up with ideas, and you hope that somebody is going to do one of them. I remember one, I was just writing about it, as a matter of fact, when we were doing the second water park in Florida, and we had 3 really wonderful ideas. They were really great, and I called Michael Eisner and said, it's time for you to come over and choose one of these ideas. And we put them on a long wall with 3 different ideas. And Michael walked in, I had my 3 teams lined up to pitch their idea. And Michael walked in and he said, that one, turned around and walked out. Well, it was Blizzard Beach. It was such a great idea. I mean, obviously you had to do it. But now I had to explain to my other teams why they didn't have a chance to pitch their idea. But that's the business, you know, we're all used to it. So,
I wish we could listen to you guys for the whole weekend. You guys are great.
Hi, Marty. One of the things that I was involved in at Walt Disney World many years ago was the construction of a contemporary hotel. And I think that they might like to hear about how the rooms were constructed off property and the modular construction on building that. It was just amazing.
Bob?
Yes, there was an idea. Of course, U.S. Steel was involved in the design of the building, and of course, they wanted to sell steel, and the idea of this contemporary hotel, where we're going to make a leap into the future, Walt Disney's future, which eventually would have an Epcot. So they had this idea for high-speed modular construction of a hotel wherein they would build a steel frame, which would ultimately be skinned, with concrete panels. But the rooms could be built off-site in a factory where all the rooms were going to be exactly the same size and would be fully plumbed with all the wiring and all the toiletries and everything, wall furnishings, everything is completely done in it. And these would be lifted up by crane. I never quite understood why they never went ahead with that kind of structure, because it seemed like a very slick way to do it, but there were some technical issues that apparently came up later to do with utilities within the structure. But if any of you have ever followed the cruise industry, and particularly with our new dream ship, most of the rooms on ships have always been built as a standalone, separate, prefabricated unit that are piled into the ship as the ship is welded together. And literally all you do is just drop the box in and hook up the wires and the pipes, and the room is done. But it was a great idea, and I'm still today, I don't know why we didn't go ahead.
They had a problem moving them on the highways. That was one of the problems they had. But, we had a mock-up of that room at WED, and with everything in it. I mean, the toilets, the whole bit. And it was a great way it still is, a way